Hello and welcome to Phonology Legal. My name is Himanshi, and in today's session we are going to discuss about the tips and tricks to crack current affairs in your coming examination for CLAT UG. But before we begin this session about current affairs, let us first understand that why we need to focus on current affairs. Why is current affairs such an important part of our preparation? Okay, because I've seen a lot of students who don't really pay attention to this particular section of your examination. So here are a few reasons for you to focus now. The first being the weightage in your question paper. The number of questions that are asked is 150. In that 150, around 35 to 40 questions are asked to you regarding current affairs. So that makes around 25% of your total question paper, of your total questions here. So if it makes 25% of your total paper, then it is definitely important for us. So this being your first reason. Second is that when you actually attempt a question on current affairs, when you give it a first glance, when you firstly read it, at that very moment you understand that whether you know the answer or you don't. You might just need a little time to regain that information, and that's it. Otherwise, you will have a fair idea about whether you know the answer or not. But when you go for the logical reasoning ke questions, when you go for quant apt and techniques wala questions, there you have to actually invest time. So in comparison to your other sections, current affairs seems to be consuming less time, as in within 2 hours ka time frame. If you just focus on current affairs, aapka bahut time will be saved here. It actually saves a lot of time. The third reason being that it is very scoring. If you have been looking at the recent patterns of your CLAT paper, the recent papers regarding are in actually paragraph format. Okay, so there's a particular topic around which a paragraph is provided to you, and with regard to that topic, 4 to 5 subsequent questions are asked. So just in case if you have an idea about it, for example, the question is about BRICS. So surrounding the BRICS ka topic, 4 to 5 questions will be asked. So if you are well prepared with the BRICS ka topic, you'll be able to answer all those 4 to 5 questions. Yes, so in that way, it becomes very easy to score as well. So it saves times, it helps you score more, and the weightage is also more. So it becomes all the more important for us to focus now on current affairs, and it becomes an indispensable part of our preparation. So with that, let us start our section of depth and coverage of current affairs. One question surrounding the students is regarding what to study, how much to cover, what depth to dive in. So these are the little problems, or these are the major problems that students really face. See, again I'll focus on the previous year question papers. If you see the pattern there, the questions that are asked to you are not anything or everything. They're not just random questions. If you just try to understand the pattern there, the questions that are asked are mostly the most important news of that particular duration. Yes, so if like for example in this particular time frame we have Afghan Taliban ka issue, which is extremely important. So this is one news which is very important and which is all over the news now. So we know that this news is very important. So in that way, we might just predict कि yes, this might be a question, or there might be a question surrounding Afghan Taliban ka issue. So since we have our premises here कि only the most important news is asked, or the topic is asked, it basically narrows down our perspective. You don't really have to gamble here. You don't have to be confused कि अच्छा this also you have to study, that also have to cover, everything under the sun needs to be covered. That isn't your perspective here. So first thing, that you need to focus on the most important news. The second being, how do you basically approach that particular news? For example, we just discussed about BRICS ka topic. For example, recently we had a summit of BRICS. Okay? So that was a good news and a big news. It was all surrounded. So what can be the possible questions asked regarding BRICS? BRICS mein you have two things here. You basically have to deal with the current news that is provided to you. For example, where was the summit, who all participated, what were the topics that were discussed. These are the topics that are important to us in the current scenario. But with that, you also need to focus on the background of that news. As in what happened in the previous summit. How was it? Where was it? and also the history of BRICS. When was it formed? Where was the first summit? Who were the first founders of this particular organization? What is the motive of this organization? So you see, you basically have to cover the current news, and you also have to go to the background of that particular news. How, what, where, in the background as well. So that is how you need to approach. That is the depth that you should cover. The most important news. You know कि BRICS is important now. Now you cover this particular BRICS ka news with the current wala part and with also the background of that particular news. And that is where we come to the third point of static and current ka balance. You don't really have to put your energies only to the current news or only to the static news. Current news is basically the current affairs, as in the news that is important to us right now. Okay, but then static part is also important because there are a few questions that can be asked. For example, if there's a scheme regarding health, so the question can be asked that who is the health minister for us? Possible. So this will form a static based question to you, that this is the minister, who is the minister somehow. But then the question is asked because there is a scheme regarding health to you. So how you're going to relate is that you actually have to study the static part only of that current news. If I'm talking about a health related scheme, I am reading about the static part because of that particular news. So again, it narrows down your perspective. You don't have to study everything in your static part because static is so vast. If you dive into it, static is so vast. So you don't have to really read everything. Static only of the current affairs that we are talking about. Okay, so that will be enough for you to cover that particular news. Yes. Also, the questions that are asked are in a way where the proportion is basically current affairs ka section is mostly 80% and the static based questions is somewhere around 20%. So in that way, you also have to balance it out. That current affairs is more important to us rather than the static. But the static is also important. So cover only that part which is relevant to your information. Yes, that was your third point. The fourth being the mindset. Here, whenever you're approaching any examination, whatever I'm about to say actually stands true for every examination. See, banking exams have a different demand, UPSC ka exam has a different demand, CLAT ka exam will also have a different demand from you. So you need to understand that what does the examiner or what does the exam want from me. You need to understand the mindset of the examiner. Yes, so ask yourself a question that whenever you see a news ka piece, ask yourself a question that is this, or if I were an examiner, will I ask this question in the question paper? First question that you should ask being the examiner is or should be that is this news piece relevant to me, or is it or should I be even asking this question in my question paper? That is the first question. The second should be regarding how or in what way I will frame questions in this particular topic. For example, BRICS. You know BRICS is important. You are an examiner. So think like an examiner here. That yes, I will ask a question regarding the history. I will ask a question regarding the first summit. I will ask about the topics discussed in the current scenario. Yes, so these are the questions that you will ask yourself if you were the examiner. So if you actually create this particular mindset, it is going to be of immense help to you. It is going to help you in not just this exam, but in any exam that you face. So develop these things, that is cover the most important news, go through the background, have a balance regarding the static and the current, and also have a mindset regarding or being an examiner. So it will help you in putting you in the lane or putting you in the right direction. So that being a depth and coverage ka section. Another thing that troubles students is regarding the sources of study. Now we know that what we need to study and how we need to approach it. But then where should we study it from is another topic that actually troubles the student. So the first thing that you have to understand is, if you again go through the previous year papers, you will see that paragraph based questions are asked to you. And if you read that particular paragraph, you will see that most of the questions are in a form of an editorial. So if questions are asked like editorials, then editorials itself become very, very important to us. Yes? So newspapers ka editorial are extremely important to us. You have to go through it. Whenever you read an editorial, go through it with the perspective of an examiner, with the perspective of a student who's actually attempting that paper. So if you actually approach that page or that piece of information in that manner, the preparation will be in a very good manner, and it will help you a lot. Besides that, newspapers are basically the most or the place where in the most raw form you'll get information. Yes, it is the most authentic place and the most raw format where you can gain information. So be ready to read newspapers and basically develop that habit of reading newspapers every day. Good newspapers, or the best that I would suggest, are The Hindu. And if you want, you can also read Indian Express, you can read Economic Times, etc. So the editorials here are very important, but the newspapers give you the first hand information here. The second being, this was your daily dose. The second being your monthly ka dose. Once you have read all the newspapers for the month, then you might just not be able to retain that information. So for that, what you can do is you can go through magazines as well. Magazines will actually summarize the whole information regarding that particular month. Okay, so it can be on weekly basis, it can be on monthly basis, however, or in whatever way you like. A few magazines are like Pratyogita Darpan or Chronicle or anything that you might just like. Okay, so magazines basically give you a summarized information regarding that month. The third source that you can follow is online surfing. So there are a lot of online websites, for example, the GK Today, Cloud Affairs, Jagran Josh, which not just provide you information on daily basis, but also give you MCQs of that particular day. So if you do this, if you're actually doing and going through the newspapers, you're going through magazines, you're going through online surfing and reading that information, and you're also going through question papers. So in this way, your preparation will be wholesome. You're actually attacking one topic from different directions. You're reading about BRICS ka topic from newspapers, from magazines, from online websites, and then you're also solving MCQs. So this will prepare you to the best or in the best way possible, and your preparation will again be in the best way possible. Yes, so now we have a fair idea about what should be the depth and coverage, and what should you study, how you should study, and the sources regarding it. Let's talk about the next problem that students really face, that being the time management. Time management is important to us because we have so many things to study. We have English ka section, we have quant techniques, we have logical reasoning, then we have current affairs as well. So how do you need to approach your current affairs? One more thing I need to add up is, from where to when should you approach current affairs? For example, you have an examination in March 2022. Okay, so for CLAT we might suggest that previous 1 year ka information is important to you. Previous 1 year ka information. Okay. For example, if your exam is for March 2022, you have to prepare from March 2021 to 22. But if you're reading, again I'll say, if you're reading about BRICS here, okay, but the information that you're reading about BRICS, there's particular topic that was discussed 5 years ago, but it is important because it comprises the background of that organization. Then even if it is 5 years ago, that piece of information becomes important to you. Yes, so you have to see the news is important, but the background might just go back to 5 years or 10 years back. So that is also important to us. So that was one topic that was left, and let us come back to time management. Yes, time management. How should we approach current affairs? First thing that you should do is have your daily dose of information. There's so much happening around the world. There's so much news. There's so many facts that come up every day. So if you keep on piling this up for the weekend, for the month end or something like that, your mind might not just be able to retain all that information. But if you just divide that whole magnanimous task into small activities, like for this day itna hi information, for the other day itna information. So if you have small tasks, it will help you in retaining as well. So the daily dose of information, be it in the form of newspapers, be it in the form of web surfing, or be it in the form of videos or anything, but have your daily dose of information. Don't skip this particular part. Second most important is your notes ka preparation. This is very important because notes, when you write it down with your own hand, your brain actually connects to it more and helps you understand it more. Also, how do you actually prepare your notes? Here, for example, we are doing an Afghan Taliban issue. What you can do is you take a piece of paper or in your copy, start with a fresh page, write Afghan Taliban. Now we know that Afghan Taliban ka issue is very important and there will be a lot of developments that will keep on taking. Okay, so what you can do is you write down that piece of information, Afghan Taliban, write down the pointers that this is important, this is what has happened, this is Taliban and so on. For example, only half of a page has been finished. So what are you supposed to do? You don't have to start another topic right from here. You don't have to do that. Because we know there are future developments that might take place, so what you can do is leave another page or 1.5 page and then start another topic with a fresh piece of information, so that you're able to update that topic and complete it in again a wholesome way and approach it in like all formats in all aspects of it. So that being important aspect. And the third, where students become extremely lethargic, very lethargic, because revision seems to be a task which takes so much of energy, because we have already done so much, we have read the news, we have prepared the notes, but then revision takes a lot of effort. But then this will take you places. See, when in examination you are given options there, option A, B, C, D, and there are so many times that we actually tend to confuse between option A and B, B or C, D hoga, A hoga. This confusion arises because you're not able to retain your information that you actually studied. You'll be like, I have studied this, I know this, but then I'm not able to recall it. It is because of lack of revision. So if you're facing this particular problem, it is because you are not revising enough. Okay, so revision becomes extremely important. Then it comes on you whether you want to do it on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. I would suggest do it every day also, do it on weekly basis also, do it on monthly basis also, because your brain needs activity. If you don't put in efforts, if you don't do that thing, it won't actually retain that information. So this is how you're going to manage your time. And overall, if you actually do this daily dose, notes and revision, hardly it is going to take 10 hours of the week. Per day, if we say, it might just take 1 hour or 1.5 hours of the day, but overall 10-12 hours of the week might just be enough for you if you actually follow this regime for your time management. With that, here are a few key points for you to remember, the last minute things that should be there in your mind, imprinted there, so that your preparation goes well enough. The first being the mindset ka point that we discussed. Have a mindset of the examiner. Think like an examiner, and this will actually help you a lot. Okay. Second being revision. Revision is extremely important. As I told you, it is very important for you to retain information. And the third that I haven't stressed on as of now, but have been talking about it, is your previous year papers. See, again, this also stands true for every other examination. Previous year's paper actually paved the right direction for you. You might just actually, deviate otherwise. You might just think, hey, this is also important, that is also important, that is also important. But when you actually go through your previous year papers, you understand that yes, this is what the question paper or this is what the examination demands from me. So having that perspective, or to have that perspective, for you to have that perspective, you need to go through your previous year papers, because recently the pattern has been changed. To understand that pattern change, you need to go through your previous year papers. Okay, so this is very important, like a brahmastra for you for any other examination, I would again stress, and it is also important for your CLAT preparation. So having that mindset, revising it and going through your previous year paper, do this and you'll be able to crack your current affairs. Okay, so we have been talking about previous year papers, so let's have a quick look on one of the previous year question here and analyze it in the perspective of what we have already studied. So this paragraph was provided to you, and as you can see, it is in an editorial format, which is regarding coronavirus pandemic, the economical impact of the virus, and the Indian government also organized a virtual meeting regarding SARC, meeting of SARC. and it calls India as the pharmacy of the world. They tell us that medicines like hydrochloroquine, paracetamol their production has been ramped up, and then about peace and cooperation and prosperity. So basically this paragraph or this particular piece of editorial tells us about the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, and about SAARC ka virtual meeting. So our questions are going to be surrounded by this or something related to health, etc. Okay, so let's see what are the questions that might just be asked from this section. The first being the Minister of Health and Family Welfare. If this was a question regarding any scheme which was from Health Ministry, then also you can expect the same question, the Minister of Health and Family Welfare. So if you know this now, please write down the names of all the ministers and by heart it, because you need to know the ministers of all the ministries. So the first question's answer is Shri Mansukh Mandavia, the Minister of Health and Family Welfare. Second question is a fact-based question, that is, what is the amount that India has created to contribute in SAARC COVID-19 emergency fund? So it is a fact, but then it was in the news. So the second question's answer is 10 million. India actually contributed $10 million. So that is important. 38th question, which of the following countries were the first to receive supplies of vaccine from India? See, it is first. The firsts are always important to us. Our firsts are always important to us. So it is our neighboring countries, Bhutan and Maldives, who were the first to receive supplies of vaccine from India. This was also in news, so this is also important. Next is about under which following initiatives has the government of India decided to supply vaccines to the foreign countries? See, here we were talking about vaccines as well, Covaxin vaccines. So yes, because vaccines were anyways important at this point of time, the news that initially started with the pandemic. So our vaccine metra was much in news, and it is actually regarding our pandemic ka era, pandemic ka time. So it becomes important to us. See, you have to see the pandemic and all the related aspects of that pandemic and cover everything and each and every bit of information that surrounds that thing. Background, news, all the aspects. Last question from this para was Covaxin, India's indigenous COVID-19 vaccine, is developed by. Very, very important question. Very, very important question it was. And it was developed by ICMR and Bharat Biotech. So in this way, a particular topic, that is the pandemic, surrounding this, so many questions were asked. Okay, so this is how you need to approach it, and you need to understand and you need to gain that perspective only via the ways that we really talked about it in the particular session. So with that, our session is concluded here, but before we finish this all together, we have an announcement that Philology Legal is here with a crash course for CLAT UG 2022. The enrollments for which are open now and for which the description has been provided to you. So don't forget to check them out as well. So with that, we finally conclude our today's session on tips and tricks regarding current affairs for your CLAT UG preparation. I really hope you enjoyed this session and you are able to gain a perspective regarding how to basically approach and prepare for your current affairs. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope it is of help to you. Let us know your suggestions in the comment below, and now I shall see you in the next one.